Creflo Dollar, a prominent American preacher and televangelist, has garnered international attention for his leadership within the prosperity gospel movement. As the founder of World Changers Church International, located in College Park, Georgia, and the dynamic face behind the Changing Your World television ministry, Dollar has become one of the most influential figures in modern Christianity. His controversial teachings have been a source of both fervent devotion and fierce criticism, making him a figure who has significantly impacted the Christian landscape, especially in the realm of faith, wealth, and personal empowerment. Early life and spiritual foundation. Creflo Dollar Jr. was born on January 28, 1962, in College Park, Georgia, to parents who instilled within him the importance of prayer, devotion, and living a life rooted in Christian principles. Growing up in a nurturing Christian environment, Dollar was surrounded by the values of faith and spirituality that would eventually serve as the foundation for his life's work. This early exposure to religious teachings inspired a deep-seated belief in God and the power of prayer, guiding him to pursue a path that would intersect with ministry. Dollar's parents, who were deeply religious, taught him that faith could bring prosperity, happiness, and peace. These foundational lessons shaped his worldview and would later influence his preaching style, as he began to understand that faith was not just about salvation, but could also lead to tangible success and material well-being. His upbringing in the Bible Belt, in an area where evangelical Christianity thrived, played a significant role in shaping his beliefs about prosperity and success through divine favor. Educational pursuits and early career. After completing his primary and secondary education, Dollar pursued higher education at West Georgia College, now known as the University of West Georgia. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in education, a field that reflected his early passion for teaching and guiding others. During his time at West Georgia College, Dollar experienced significant personal growth. This period of intellectual and spiritual development would lay the groundwork for his future ministry, where he would blend his academic background with his deeply held religious beliefs. While his degree in education initially seemed to set him on a path toward teaching, Dollar began to feel an internal calling that would ultimately shape his career. He realized that his true passion lay in the ministry, and he wanted to guide others in living prosperous lives, both spiritually and materially. His time in college allowed him to refine his vision of the future, as he realized that preaching the message of faith-based prosperity could empower individuals to transform their lives. In the mid-1980s, Dollar made the decision to leave the traditional educational path behind and pursue ministry full-time. His decision to shift from teaching to preaching was a pivotal moment in his life, one that would soon change the lives of millions of followers across the globe. Dollar's formal education in teaching provided him with the skills to communicate effectively, structure sermons, and create messages that resonated with a wide range of people. The birth of World Changers Ministries. In 1986, Creflo Dollar founded World Changers Ministries International, with the goal of creating a community where individuals could come together to experience spiritual growth and prosperity. The ministry was conceived as a way to empower people through the application of Christian principles in all areas of life, particularly in financial matters. This vision of combining faith and financial success became the hallmark of Dollar's ministry, setting him apart from other religious leaders of the time. The church's first service took place in a humble cafeteria at a local elementary school in College Park, Georgia. With only 8 attendees, the ministry's humble beginnings reflected the challenge that Dollar faced in establishing his vision. However, his passion, charisma, and innovative approach to preaching soon began to attract a following. Dollar's message was simple yet powerful: that faith, positive speech, and tithing could lead to personal and material prosperity. Dollar's teachings resonated with individuals who were seeking practical solutions to their everyday challenges, and his emphasis on applying biblical principles to real-world situations made his ministry stand out. His teachings on financial stewardship, positive thinking, and the power of faith to overcome obstacles attracted a growing number of followers who were eager to learn how to improve their financial situations. As word of Dollar's dynamic preaching style spread, the church experienced rapid growth, expanding the ministry, the World Dome. By 1995, World Changers Church International had grown significantly, necessitating a larger space to accommodate its expanding congregation. The church moved into the World Dome in College Park, Georgia, a massive sanctuary with a seating capacity of 8,500. This transition from a small gathering to a megachurch marked a milestone in Dollar's ministry, symbolizing his success in spreading his teachings of prosperity and faith. The World Dome, constructed at a cost of $20 million, was funded entirely through donations from Dollar's church members and supporters. This financial support underscored the loyalty and devotion of his congregation, who believed in his message and were willing to invest in the growth of the church. The building of the World Dome represented more than just an architectural achievement. It was a testament to Dollar's ability to inspire others and to his vision of a global, prosperous church. The World Dome not only provided a physical space to hold services, but it also enabled Dollar to expand his ministry further, reaching a broader audience. With this larger facility, Dollar was able to host larger worship services, community outreach programs, and various events that allowed him to connect with individuals from all walks of life. The growth of World Changers Church International reflected both Dollar's increasing influence in the Christian community and the success of his faith-based prosperity message, global expansion, and television ministry. As the ministry continued to expand, Dollar's influence spread beyond the walls of the World Dome. World Changers Church International established satellite campuses in major cities across the United States, including New York, Los Angeles, and Houston, as well as international locations in cities like London. These satellite campuses allowed people around the world to experience Dollar's teachings and become part of his growing community. In addition to the physical expansion of his church, Dollar's television ministry, Changing Your World, became a cornerstone of his outreach efforts. Through this daily program, Dollar was able to broadcast his teachings internationally, reaching millions of viewers with his messages on faith, financial empowerment, personal development, and spiritual growth. His television ministry amplified his voice and allowed him to reach people who could not physically attend church services. Dollar's television presence helped cement his status as a leading figure in the prosperity gospel movement, a controversial branch of Christianity that emphasizes financial success as a sign of divine favor. Through his program, Dollar was able to communicate his belief that God wants his followers to live prosperous lives, including achieving financial success. This message resonated with many viewers, particularly those looking for practical ways to improve their financial well-being. Books and publications. In addition to his television ministry, Creflo Dollar authored several books that expanded on his teachings about prosperity, faith, and personal empowerment. His books, which include titles like 8 Steps to Create the Life You Want, Total Life Prosperity, and 14 Practical Steps to Receiving God's Full Blessing, have become popular resources for individuals looking to improve their financial and spiritual lives. Dollar's books offer readers practical steps for embracing an abundance mindset, overcoming limiting beliefs, and trusting in God's guidance as they pursue their goals. The messages in his books closely align with his preaching, which encourages people to use their faith to achieve personal and financial success. By publishing books, Dollar was able to reach an even wider audience, allowing individuals from around the world to benefit from his teachings. Legal troubles and controversies. Despite his growing influence and success, Creflo Dollar's career has not been without controversy. In 2012, Dollar faced legal trouble following an altercation with his teenage daughter, which attracted widespread media attention. According to reports, Dollar was accused of assaulting his daughter after a disagreement over her desire to attend a party. The incident led to his arrest on charges of simple battery and cruelty to children. The allegations against Dollar shocked many of his supporters, who had long viewed him as a model of Christian values. Dollar vehemently denied the accusations, claiming that the incident was exaggerated and that he had not assaulted his daughter. He addressed the situation publicly during a Sunday service at World Changers Church International, where he sought to clarify the situation and maintain his innocence. The incident sparked a divide within his congregation, with some supporters defending him and others expressing disappointment and concern. While some emphasized forgiveness and understanding, others questioned whether Dollar's actions were consistent with his teachings on love, forgiveness, and spiritual leadership. The controversy surrounding the incident created a backlash against Dollar, particularly among critics who had already been skeptical of his teachings on wealth and prosperity. Accusations of hypocrisy and materialism. In addition to the legal troubles surrounding the altercation with his daughter, Creflo Dollar's personal lifestyle has also been a source of criticism. Dollar's opulent lifestyle, which includes owning multiple multi-million-dollar homes, luxury cars, and a private jet, has led many critics to accuse him of hypocrisy. They argue that his focus on material wealth contradicts the teachings of Jesus, who emphasized spiritual richness over material success. One of the most controversial moments in Dollar's career occurred in 2015, when he launched a fundraising campaign to raise $65 million to purchase a new Gulfstream G600 private jet. Dollar argued that the jet was necessary for the ministry's work, as it would allow him to travel more efficiently and reach more people. However, critics viewed the request as a blatant display of materialism, questioning the ethics of asking his congregation to fund such an extravagant purchase. Legacy and impact. Despite the controversies and challenges that have marred his career, Creflo Dollar remains a central figure in the prosperity gospel movement. His teachings on faith, personal empowerment, and financial success have resonated with millions, making him one of the most influential preachers of his generation. While his message of prosperity and wealth has attracted both devoted followers and vocal critics, Dollar's ability to maintain his position as a leader in the Christian community is a testament to his resilience and the loyalty of his supporters. Creflo Dollar's legacy will undoubtedly be shaped by his contributions to modern Christianity, particularly in the areas of wealth, success, and personal empowerment. Whether one agrees with his teachings or not, there is no denying the profound impact that his ministry has had on the landscape of American Christianity and the global church. The beginnings of Creflo Dollar's ministry. Creflo Dollar's journey to prominence began in College Park, Georgia, where he was born on January 28, 1962. From a young age, Dollar was steeped in a religious environment that placed a strong emphasis on prayer, devotion, and spiritual living. His parents instilled in him the belief that living according to God's will would lead to both spiritual and material prosperity. This foundational teaching became the cornerstone of Dollar's later theological stance. After graduating from secondary school, Dollar pursued higher education at West Georgia College, now the University of West Georgia. Initially, Dollar studied education, believing that teaching was his calling. He received a degree in education, a field that equipped him to communicate effectively with others. However, as his time at the university progressed, Dollar realized that his true calling lay in ministry. He felt a deep, internal call to spread the Christian message on a larger scale. This revelation prompted him to shift his career focus, and he ultimately founded World Changers Ministries in 1986. World Changers, Ministries, and Dollar's prosperity. Message Dollar's World Changers Ministries began modestly, with its first service held in the cafeteria of a local elementary school in College Park. With only 8 attendees, the early days were humble, but Dollar's vision was grand. His focus on prosperity, the belief that God wants his followers to live abundantly, resonated deeply with his congregation. Dollar's unique brand of preaching, which combined practical financial advice with a heavy emphasis on faith, quickly attracted a larger audience. Dollar preached that financial success was an indication of a person's faith, and that prosperity was a direct result of spiritual obedience. World Changers Ministries expanded rapidly, and in 1995, Dollar moved his church into the World Dome, a state-of-the-art facility in College Park. This massive structure, with a seating capacity of 8,500, was a physical manifestation of the church's success. The World Dome became a symbol of both Dollar's growing influence and the power of the prosperity gospel movement. The facility's construction, which cost $20 million, was funded entirely by donations from church members. The church's rapid growth, in terms of both financial assets and membership, demonstrated the appeal of Dollar's message. The expanding reach of Dollar's ministry. Under Dollar's leadership, World Changers Ministries did not remain confined to College Park. The church expanded with the establishment of satellite campuses in major cities across the United States and internationally in places like New York, Los Angeles, Houston, and London. These satellite locations allowed Dollar's message to spread to a broader, more diverse audience. His ministry reached beyond the church building and into millions of homes via his daily television program, Changing Your World. This show became a cornerstone of Dollar's outreach efforts, enabling him to reach millions of viewers with messages focused on financial empowerment, personal development, and the power of prayer. The ability to broadcast his sermons on television allowed Dollar to become a global figure within the Christian community. His teachings were seen by many as a beacon of hope, a way to achieve personal success and financial security through faith in God. Dollar's media presence also allowed him to interact with a global community of believers, offering them teachings that could help improve their financial standing and personal lives. The jet controversy and public backlash. In 2015, Creflo Dollar found himself at the center of a firestorm when he launched a campaign to raise $65 million for a private jet. Dollar argued that the Gulfstream G600 would allow him to travel more efficiently to conduct his global ministry and humanitarian work. He claimed that the jet was a necessary tool for reaching people around the world and spreading the gospel, and that having a private jet would enable him to avoid the time-consuming hassles of commercial air travel. However, the request was met with outrage. Critics questioned the ethics of asking poor church members, many of whom were struggling financially, to donate such an exorbitant sum for a luxury item. The idea that a pastor needed a $65 million jet to carry out his ministry seemed excessive to many, and Dollar's critics seized on the campaign as a symbol of the perceived greed and materialism inherent in the prosperity gospel movement. Despite the backlash, Dollar defended the fundraising effort, insisting that the jet was essential for the efficient functioning of his ministry. However, the public outcry eventually led to the suspension of the campaign. Dollar removed the appeal from the church's website, and in a later sermon, he expressed regret over the negative attention the campaign had garnered. He emphasized that the decision to request the jet was not driven by personal greed, but by the practical needs of his ministry. While Dollar stood by his original stance, the controversy left a stain on his reputation and raised further questions about the prosperity gospel's emphasis on wealth, health struggles, and spiritual test. In 2011, Creflo Dollar faced a personal trial that tested his faith to its limits. He was diagnosed with a severe form of prostate cancer. For a man whose ministry had emphasized the importance of faith in healing, this diagnosis was both a medical and spiritual challenge. Dollar's followers watched closely as he navigated his illness, looking to him for guidance on how to maintain faith during times of hardship. Throughout his battle with cancer, Dollar remained steadfast in his belief that God's healing power could deliver him from illness. He spoke openly about the experience, using his illness as a testament to the power of prayer and divine intervention. Dollar continued his treatments while simultaneously relying on his faith to sustain him. He frequently referred to his own experiences in sermons, illustrating how the teachings of prosperity gospel had played a crucial role in his battle against the disease. To his followers, Dollar's unwavering faith in the face of illness served as a powerful reminder of the strength of belief and the power of prayer. Dollar's journey through cancer became a significant part of his narrative as a leader. It humanized him in the eyes of his followers, many of whom were facing similar personal struggles. His ability to confront his diagnosis with faith and transparency helped deepen the connection between him and his congregation. The ongoing debate over the prosperity gospel. Creflo Dollar's teachings have sparked an ongoing debate within the Christian community. Supporters of the prosperity gospel argue that the message of wealth and abundance is a sign of God's favor and a reward for faithful living. They claim that God wants his followers to live prosperous lives, both spiritually and financially, and that achieving material success is a reflection of a deep, personal relationship with God. However, critics of prosperity gospel, including respected Christian leaders such as John Piper and Rick Warren, have publicly denounced the movement. They argue that the prosperity gospel misrepresents Christian teachings by focusing too heavily on material wealth and personal success, to the detriment of humility, generosity, and the care of the poor. These critics claim that the true gospel message is one of selflessness, sacrifice, and service to others, not one that promotes a consumer-driven approach to faith. The clash between the prosperity gospel and traditional Christian teachings has led to a broader discussion about the role of wealth in a believer's life. Critics worry that the movement encourages a shallow interpretation of the Bible, where the accumulation of wealth becomes the primary goal rather than spiritual growth and service to others. Resilience and legacy. Despite the controversies surrounding his ministry, Creflo Dollar has remained resilient. He has weathered public criticism, legal challenges, and personal struggles, continuing to lead his ministry with determination and a steadfast commitment to his beliefs. His ability to maintain a loyal following and adapt to criticism speaks to the effectiveness of his message as well as his resilience as a leader. Dollar's ministry continues to thrive, and his influence within the prosperity gospel movement remains strong. While many question the ethics of his teachings and lifestyle, there is no denying the impact he has had on the lives of his followers. His journey is a testament to the power of faith, both in terms of personal belief and in the ability to build a global ministry that touches the lives of millions. Creflo Dollar's life and ministry represent the complexities of modern Christianity, where faith, wealth, and success often intertwine in ways that challenge traditional religious teachings. Whether viewed as a beacon of prosperity or as a symbol of materialism, Dollar's legacy within the prosperity gospel movement is undeniable. As the debate surrounding his ministry continues, one thing remains clear. Creflo Dollar's impact on contemporary Christian thought will be felt for years to come.